what you do before the world wakes up becomes the reputation nobody sees, but everybody feels.
My reputation isn't built in public, it's built before the sun. The early hours carry more weight than everything else done. The reputation of the early hours runs on zero witnesses, just the body and the discipline inside the dark premises. I built my character inside the hours nobody claims. The reputation of the early hours runs through all my veins. They feel the output later, but they never saw the source. The reputation of the early hours is the only endorsement of my course. Reputation of the early hours, built in the dark rank. Reputation of the early hours, that's my mark. Nobody was present, but the work knew I was there. Reputation of the early hours,
That's the only standard I wear.
I could sleep through every early hour and arrive the same, but the reputation of the early hours is what gives the name. Not the name that others use, but the one I use inside. The reputation of the early hours is the thing I can't hide. It lives in the quality of the version that I bring to every afternoon and evening, every other thing. The reputation of the early hours is the loudest silent thing. The reputation of the early hours is everything. Reputation of the early hours, built in the dark. Reputation of the early hours, that's my mark. Nobody was present, but the work knew I was there. Reputation of the early hours,
That's the only standard I wear. Before the sun, before the world, that's where it's built. I remember the last excuse I made. I remember exactly how it sounded. I haven't made one since.
The last excuse I made had all the hallmarks of the rest. It sounded very reasonable and wore the suit of best. It dressed itself in logic and in care for the well-being. It sounded like the watchphrase to a version not yet seeing, but I heard myself delivering it and something clicked inside. The last excuse I made became the one that flipped my tide. I heard the pattern in the language, heard the cowardice inside. The last excuse I made became the last place I would hide. The last excuse I made, I heard myself for real. The last excuse I made, I recognize the deal. Dressed in all the right words, but an exit all the same. The last excuse I made, I refuse to play the game.
I've been living in the aftermath of that specific day. The day the excuse came out and I heard what I would say. The architecture of avoidance in the language that I chose. The last excuse I made was when the old version finally closed. I don't claim to be excuse-free every morning that arrives. I just know the sound of one now and I know when to revive. The last excuse I made taught me the accent and the tone. The last excuse I made is the one I've never shown. The last excuse I made, I heard myself for real. The last excuse I made, I recognize another chance. Before I earned it, I owe it everything.
If I deserve to try again, it just arrived and handed me the hours in the pen. I owe the morning more than I have ever paid in full. Every dawn that showed up was a gift against the pull. I started treating mornings like a debt I chose to settle. Every rep I gave the morning was the payment in the metal. What I owe the morning is the only debt I hold with pride. What I owe the morning is the reason I'm still inside. What I owe the morning, I pay it every day. What I owe the morning, I give it all away. The morning never judged the version walking through the door. What I owe the morning is what I show up for. I wasted mornings early on before I learned the cost. Every morning I surrendered was a morning that I lost. A morning never held it against me, never kept the score. It just kept coming back and offering the hours once more. I started showing up prepared to honor what it gave. Every morning is a second chance, arriving like a wave. What I owe the morning is the version standing here today. What I owe the morning is the reason I don't stray. What I owe the morning, I pay it every day. What I owe the morning, I give it all away. The morning never judged the version walking through the door. Whoa. What I owe the morning is what I show up for.
That pay. Every morning, still owing. The secret is boring. Consistently, relentlessly,
Magnificently boring. I did the same thing Tuesday that I did on Monday last. I'll do the same thing Wednesday as I did in the past. The compound effect of boring is the most unglamorous truth. Nobody films the Tuesday of the discipline pursuit. I'm not doing anything exciting or dramatic in the grind. I'm doing the same boring thing and leaving doubt behind. The compound effect of boring is the leverage that I hold. The compound effect of boring turns the ordinary gold. The compound effect of boring, unglamorous and true. The compound effect of boring, built for the few. The exciting transformation came from the dullest daily act. The compound effect of boring is the
undeniable fact. They want the big reveal, the transformation and the flash, but the compound effect of boring is the unexciting cash. I deposit every boring morning into the account of years. The compound effect of boring is what finally appears. They'll see the outcome and assign it to the gift or to the gene, but the compound effect of boring is what actually convened. Every boring Tuesday stacked on every boring day before. The compound effect of boring opens every major door. The compound effect of boring, unglamorous and true. The compound effect of boring, built for the few. The exciting transformation came from the dullest daily act. The compound Undeniable fact.
Boring, consistent, compounding forever.
I was too tired to quit. Quitting takes energy I didn't have left, so I kept going.
Funny thing about the bottom of the tank, when it runs dry, quitting is an action that requires energy to try. I was too depleted even for the laying down of arms. The body kept on moving past the point of all the alarms. Too tired to quit became the accident of the persist. I stumbled through the finish on the power of the wrist. What I thought was breaking down was just the ordinary burn. Too tired to quit became the most important thing to learn. Too tired to quit, the tank was at the floor. Too tired to quit, I found a little more. The quitting takes an energy I didn't have to spare. Too tired to quit, I finished
Right there. I finished right there.
They think the finish line requires a heroic kind of push. Sometimes it's just showing up, too tired for the hush. Too tired to argue with the doubt inside my head. Too tired to negotiate, so I just moved ahead. The most unlikely wins came wrapped in utter depletion. Too tired to quit became a permanent completion. I stopped romanticizing it, it wasn't courage in the end. Too tired to quit was just too tired to bend. Too tired to quit, the tank was at the floor. Too tired to quit, I found a little more. The quitting takes an energy I didn't have to spare. Too tired to quit,
I finished right there.
too tired.
Still moving. Finished anyway. The best season of my life was the one I never posted about.
I went dark for 6 months and built the thing that changed the frame. No update on the progress, no announcement of the aim. The season nobody posts is where the real work gets done. Away from the performance under the absent sun. I deleted the distraction of the daily share and show and found the undivided energy of what I didn't know. The season nobody posts is not about the hiding, it's about the undiluted force of the deciding. The season nobody posts, that's where I was made. The season nobody posts, built inside the shade. No documentation of the miles that I ran alone. The season nobody posts became the cornerstone. They filled their seasons with the content and the clipped, while I was in the silent season fully equipped. The energy I saved from not performing for the feed went directly to the building of the version that I need. The season nobody posts is not available for viewing. It happened in the private of the grinding and the doing. I came back from the season with the version hard to question. The season nobody posts was the most important lesson. The season nobody posts, that's where I was made. The season nobody posts, built inside the shade. No documentation of the miles that I ran alone. The season nobody posts became the cornerstone.
Everybody saw it. Everyone felt it. The unposted season 06. Too tired to quit. I was too tired to quit. Quitting takes energy I didn't have left. So I kept going. Funny thing about the bottom of the tank when it runs dry, quitting is an action that requires energy to try. I was too depleted even for the laying down of arms. The body kept on moving past the point of all the alarms. Too tired to quit became the accident of the persist. I stumbled through the finish on the power of the wrist. What I thought was breaking down was just the ordinary burn. Too tired to quit became the most important thing to learn. Too tired to quit. The tank was at the floor. Too tired to quit. I found a little more. The quitting takes an energy I didn't have to spare. Too tired to quit. I finished right there. They think the finish line requires a heroic kind of push. Sometimes it's just showing up. Too tired for the hush. Too tired to argue with the doubt inside my head. Too tired to negotiate, so I just moved ahead. The most unlikely wins came wrapped in utter depletion. Too tired to quit became a permanent completion. I stopped romanticizing it, it wasn't courage in the end. Too tired to quit was just too tired to bend. Too tired to quit. The tank was at the floor. Too tired to quit. I found a little more. The quitting takes an energy I didn't have to spare. Too tired to quit. I finished right there. Too tired. Still moving. Finished anyway. The bar weighs exactly the same as it did a year ago. I'm just a different person underneath it. Haven't changed, but the person under them has grown. The weight is the same weight, but it's lifted by the bone of someone who put in the hours that the weight demanded back. Same weight, different person standing on a different track. I remember when this weight was everything I had. Now it's just a warm-up and the numbers make me glad. Same weight, different person is the only proof I need. Same weight, different person is the story of the creed. Same weight, different person under every bar. Same weight, different person showing how far. The weight reveals the distance that the work is put between. Same weight, different person is the best review I've seen. They ask me how I measure progress in the absence of the scale. I tell them put the same weight on and let the difference tell the tale. The weight that broke me early is the weight I warm up with. Same weight, different person is the most honest myth. Not a myth at all, it's just a compound of the days. Every session changed the person underneath in quiet ways. Same weight, different person every single month that passed. Same weight, different person built for something meant to last. Same weight, different person under every bar. Same weight, different person showing how far. The weight reveals the distance that the work is put between. Same weight, different person is the best review I've seen. Same bar. New person. Every single time. I was waiting for someone to sign the permission slip. Then I realized I was the only one who could. I spent years waiting
waiting for the nod, the green light, the okay. Some authority to tell me I was ready for the day. The permission slip was never coming from the outside in. The only one who signs it is the one who must begin. I look for validation in the room and on the screen. Every expert I consulted told me something in between. The day I signed my own slip was the day the moving started. The permission slip I signed myself was never half-hearted. Permission slip, I signed it for myself. Permission slip, it came from no one else. I stopped waiting for the authority to clear the lane. Permission slip, I'll never wait again. They're still out there searching for the one who'll say the word. Still waiting for the signal that was never going to be heard. The permission slip exists inside the choice to move despite the lack of certainty, despite the absence of the right. I signed it in the quiet of a morning nobody saw. I signed it with the pen of just beginning without law. The permission slip is yours to write and yours to execute. I signed mine long ago and planted every root. Permission slip, I signed it for myself. Permission slip, it came from no one else. I stopped waiting for the authority to clear the lane. Permission slip, I'll never wait again. Signed by me, starting now. I didn't take a break. I took an accounting of everything I'd left undone. Then I went back to work. They took that gap year, traveling through the comfortable and the wide. I took my gap year staring at the version I did not know. Passport in the gap year that I chose to sit inside. Just the honest inventory of everything I'd hide. I counted every rep I did and taken every mile I missed. I counted every morning I had written off the list. The gap year that I never took became the year I burned. The gap year that I never took is everything I learned. The gap year I never took is the year I built instead. The gap year I never took is the year I moved ahead. While others found themselves in comfort, I found myself in work. The gap year I never took is the year that left no quirk. From their gap years with the stories and the stamps. I came back from my gap year with the calluses and clamps. The rest they took was borrowed from the future. They delayed. The gap year I never took is the compound interest paid. I don't begrudge the ones who needed distance to discover, but the gap year I never took revealed what lay undercover. The discipline was always there, it just needed the accounting. The gap year I never took became the year of the mountain. The gap year I never took is the year I built instead. The gap year I never took is the year I moved ahead. While others found themselves in comfort, I found myself in work. The gap year I never took is the year that left no quirk.
day doesn't start when you get up. It starts when the alarm goes off. That's the first test.
And the test begins before I even move. The decision in that second sets the tone inside the groove. Every morning is a fork between the version and the rest. The alarm is not a warning, it's the opening of the test. I pass it by, not thinking, by not giving out the stage. I move before the cover writes its argument on the page. The alarm is the first test, and the first test sets the day. Pass the first one, and the others tend to fall away. The alarm is the first test.
I pass it every time.
The alarm is the first test.
I answer every chime.
The ones who fail the morning fail the rest before they start. The alarm is the first test, and I pass it from the heart.
Discipline for everything I do. I tell them it was settled when the alarm came through.
The first 5 seconds after the alarm decides the day. I've been winning in those seconds in the only practice way. No negotiation, no reminder of the goal. Just the body moving forward from the discipline of soul. The alarm is the first test, and the test is very small. But the ones who pass the small ones tend to pass them all. The alarm is the first test.
I pass it every time.
The alarm is the first test.
I answer every chime.
The ones who fail the morning fail the rest before they start. The alarm is the first test, and I pass it from the heart.
Every morning.
Pass the first test.
Yeah, I've lost 1,000 rounds.
Every single time I got back up before the count. The record shows the losses, but it also shows the rising. Every time I hit the canvas, I came back more surprising. Undefeated doesn't mean I never touched the floor. It means every time I touched it, I came back and asked for more. I've been knocked down by the weight of more than I can tell, but the only loss I'll register is the time I chose to dwell. The undefeated record isn't built on never falling. It's built on answering the bell each and every calling. Undefeated record, not because I never fail. Undefeated record, because I answered every bell. The floor has met me many times, but never kept me there. Undefeated record, rising from the chair. They think the undefeated means I've never met a wall. I've met every wall available and climbed them all. The undefeated record is the willingness to rise, not the absence of the falling, but the choosing to survive. Every loss that didn't end me made the next one lighter. Every time I rose again, I came back slightly brighter. The undefeated record is the only one I keep. The undefeated
almost is the heaviest word I know. I stopped carrying it.
Almost like a trophy I misplaced. Almost finished, almost ready, almost showing up with haste. The weight of almost was the heaviest I'd ever known. It sat inside the chest and the space we're done is shown. I almost made the change 100 times before I did. I almost started something every time I kept it hid. The weight of almost is the cost of the delay. I put it down the morning I decided not to stay. The weight of almost, I set it on the ground. The heaviest thing I found. I traded almost for the actual and the done. The weight of almost was the heaviest under the sun. I took an inventory of my almost in a year. The list was long enough to fill a room with all the fear. The weight of almost had been robbing me of what was real. Every almost was a finished thing I didn't let me feel. I started choosing done instead of almost every day. The weight of almost gets lighter when you just begin to play. I'm not carrying the almost that belonged to yesterday. The weight of almost only lifts when you decide to stay. The weight of almost, I set it on the ground. The weight of almost, the heaviest thing I found. I traded almost for the actual and the done. The weight of almost was the heaviest under the sun. Put it down. Walk forward. No more almost. Almost.
Stop comparing it, chapter 3 to someone else's chapter 20.
I wasted years comparing where I was to where they stood. The only timeline that exists is mine, and mine is good. They had their head start, had their circumstances in their lane. The only timeline that exists runs through my own terrain. I quit the side-by-side assessment of where I should be now. The only timeline that exists is teaching me the how. I'm not behind the ones ahead because we're not in the same race. The only timeline that exists is mine,
At my own pace.
the only timeline that exists is mine. The only timeline that exists is my design. Comparing runs are futile when the courses are not the same. The only timeline
That exists belongs inside my name. Belongs inside my name.
They got the early start and I was late to leave the gate. But late inside my timeline isn't actually late. The only timeline that exists for me has its own clock. The only timeline that exists runs on my own bedrock. I stop measuring my progress by the markers of another. The only timeline that exists is one I have to mother. Every day I'm on the timeline I was built to follow. The only timeline that exists is not someone else
To borrow.
the only timeline that exists is mine. The only timeline that exists is my design. Comparing runs are futile when the courses are
list belongs inside my name. Belongs inside my name. My timeline, my pace, my finish line. Everything was stripped away, I found out what I was actually made of. They took the comfortable, the structure and the plan. I found out what was left when everything began to scan. The motivation left before the others left me first. The inspiration followed, then the easy and the curse. When everything had left, I found what stayed inside the room. A quiet kind of discipline that didn't need the bloom. What stayed when everything left is the only thing I own. The work that has no audience, that stands up on its own. What stayed when everything left? That's the real. What stayed when everything left is what I feel. Stripped of every comfort, stripped of every borrowed fire. What stayed when everything left is what I require. I used to think the motivation was the engine of the drive. When the motivation left, I found out I could still survive. The discipline was running underneath the borrowed flame. When everything burned off, the discipline remained the same. One day, when everything left became my operating core, I don't need the external anymore, I found the internal more. The stripping was the blessing that I never would have asked for. What stayed when everything left is what I've always been here for. What stayed when everything left? That's the real. What stayed when everything left is what I feel. Stripped of every comfort, stripped of every borrowed fire. What stayed when everything left is what I require. Strapped down, still standing. What was always there? I used to explain myself to everyone. The day I stopped was the day I started. I used to run my plans past everyone around for the approval. Every goal I had got filtered through the group for the removal. They had opinions on the timeline and the how and why. I kept explaining until every dream was running dry. The day I stopped explaining was the day the building started. The plan that needed no approval finally got kick-started. I stopped the pitch, stopped the preview, stopped the asking the permission. The day I stopped explaining was the start of the mission. The day I stopped explaining, everything began. The day I stopped explaining, I became my own plan. No more running every choice through the noise of the room. subjective. Every time I sought approval, I became more ineffective. The dream gets diluted every time you ask the crowd to weigh it. The best version of the plan is the one you never say it. I stopped explaining, and the energy went straight to the doing. The day I stopped explaining was the day I stopped accruing debt to everyone's opinion of what my life should be. The day I stopped explaining was the day I became free. The day I stopped explaining, everything began. The day I stopped explaining, I became